Hello and welcome to Not One Right Way, the podcast. It's me, your co-host Melissa Manuel, she, her, and
It's me, your other co-host, Marv from Metawagging Yaga, they, them, theirs.
how you doing, Marv?
I'm doing so swell. I've got rice cooking in the kitchen and I can smell it and it's like nice and fragrant and it's gonna be so warm when we
Mm-mm.
finish this. Lovely.
Love that for you. Nothing like some fresh rice.
Yep.
It's great.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Got some good news at work. I mean, by the time this comes out, which will be on your birthday, June 1st. Happy birthday, Marv, in the future.
Thank you.
I'll be full-time at where I'm working, so benefits, AO,
Yeah.
retirement plan,
Yeah.
big stuff, big boy stuff. So, good news.
Love to hear it. Can't wait to celebrate you. Yes.
Thank you.
Very
I
excited.
can't wait to celebrate your birthday. I'm sure we're doing something really fun right about now when people are listening to this.
Yep. At 10 in the morning
Yeah,
on a Monday.
it's like, it's the start of Pride, and I always remember when you told me your mom called you their little Pride baby.
Yeah.
It just makes us happy.
Yeah. My mom is probably listening to this. I've told everybody about this, Mom. I've told I've told everybody about the phone call where you're like, "Oh, your birthday's the first day of Pride Month. You're my little Pride baby." Because I think it's lovely and
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Brings me joy. So what have you been watching, Marv?
I'm not really watching anything new for now, but season 10 of Love is Blind, the first drop was tonight. So
Oh
you know
boy,
I'm
I
gonna
can't
be
wait to
spending the
hear it.
next 6 hours watching this.
And I want all the updates because I don't want to watch, but I like when you tell me about it.
Yeah. I will keep
I
you
like
updated.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I did watch one whole show yesterday. Wonder Man,
Okay.
a Marvel Presents show.
Okay.
I don't know what that means or what the difference is,
Right.
but it was a new Marvel show, but not like under the same Marvel Productions. I don't know what goes on in there, but it was actually pretty interesting. I love when Hollywood makes a show about being in Hollywood because it's so, I don't know, the tone of it is always just like, doesn't it suck? But also we love it so much. Like it's almost like an addiction, and it's just very funny to watch shows like that. Kind of like Pixar's spin-off show of Inside Out. They did a whole show like
Right.
that. Dream Productions, shows like that, or The Studio, I think, is like that too. It's just shows about Hollywood made by people in Hollywood. It's similar to that, but it's also a superhero show, but that's like the D plot, I think, which is great for me. Anyway, it was very cool, and the two lead actors are such different age and backgrounds, and so their friendship was very interesting. You know I love a platonic relationship. Anyway, I'm rambling because I thought it was very interesting.
Okay. Cool.
For a Marvel show. I thought it was fun.
Wonder Man. Marvel Presents. Okay.
Anyway, I'm very excited to bring in our guest today because this is a first time for us, and they're just so wonderful. I'm so grateful to our listener, Sean Huang, for introducing us to them. They sent us a lovely email back in December of 2025 introducing us to this artist. Their name is Fuzz Garden. They're a multidisciplinary artist and storyteller out in Long Beach, doing amazing stuff for their community, doing all kinds of art, and I'm just so excited to get to know them. Welcome, Garden.
Hi, everyone. Really happy to be here. And congratulations, Melissa, on the new full-time position, and your
Thank
mom
you.
sounds rad, Merv. I love the fact that your mom calls you that. I think that's
Yeah.
just a beautiful way to just embrace and love up on you.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you watching anything right now?
I'm watching Abbott Elementary. It's not an animation, even though this is a good idea. They need to do a animated episode. I think that'd be
They
fun.
should.
They
Ah!
should.
I love Abbott.
Ooh,
Merv is thinking right now. See, I see your face.
conspiring, scheming.
Yeah. Are you gonna pitch? Are you gonna pitch something? Because you should.
I don't have the skills, the knowledge, or the connections to pitch for Abbott Elementary, but, if anybody's listening out there, who does have that skill set and, like, the production know-how and, like, the money to make an animated Abbott episode,
Right?
like, I would eat that up.
It'd be
I
super
think that
fun.
I think they need an animated episode and a crossover with Sesame Street. Like a Sesame Street Abbott episode would be so delightful.
Whoa. Yeah.
Right. I'm crying. That's a beautiful
Whoa.
idea.
Like the kids with the little Sesame Street people. It's so cute.
I
Yeah.
would freak out. I would freak out and I would die from just the cuteness overload. Absolutely.
Can you imagine Oscar the Grouch fighting with Melissa about Philly versus New
Oh,
York?
ah, are
Yeah.
you kidding me? That in itself, that's a really good, like, plot in the episode. I love that.
Um,
I
There's an
wanted
Etsy
to
witch out there who can help us with
Oh, yeah.
this.
Get your potions.
Yeah.
Brew 'em. No, I was just going to say who is your favorite Sesame Street character?
Ooh, I think my little sister, she grew up watching a lot of Sesame Street,
Mhm.
but I think I have a big soft spot for like Big Bird because he had so
Yeah.
much to learn. He was such a big baby. I mean, they all had a lot to learn, but a lot of them, he was just like, let's learn together. And like that episode where he learns to grieve. It's just like they use Big Bird a lot in a lot of meaningful ways in the episodes I watch with my sister. So I love Big Bird.
Special character, for
Yeah.
sure. That's beautiful.
I suddenly forgot all of the Sesame Street characters except for Snuffleupagus. So,
Maybe he's calling out to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe, like, that's probably what speaks to my soul and what I needed to say right now, you know? Snuffleupagus, Snuffleupagus.
He's a good
Do you,
character.
do you have a favorite Sesame Street character?
Yes, it's Grover.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a great character.
I love him. He's very clumsy and everything goes wrong when he's around, and I relate.
I don't think
Well,
everything goes wrong. He's just not afraid to make mistakes.
Yes, I love that.
well,
Yeah,
mhm.
that's a big mantra of mine for sure.
He likes to try things, and he ends up making beautiful things. I think Grover's great. Good role model.
A great
Mhm.
role model. True. I love that.
Well, Marv, would you like to get us started with another hard-hitting question? Garden
Yeah,
already started us off.
yeah, yeah. I believe you're familiar with the fact that I'm a social worker. A lot of the times, I'm on the phones, I'm on the emails asking the tough questions. What insurance do you have? Uh, how much is this covered? Um, which I had to do a lot today. Wow. Anyways, asking the tough, deep questions. My question for you today is, what shape do you think represents your soul?
Oh, that is a beautiful question. And I'm so happy you didn't ask me what my insurance plan was because I was so ready to start crying right now. That's a good question. Okay, so I would say the shape of my soul is like a very wonky, silly shape that has no name and is more like a blob.
Mm,
Yeah, like if you spilled something on the ground and whatever shape that that is
Mhm.
my silly little soul and essence.
Yeah.
I love that.
More rounded or more pointy?
Less pointy and more rounded.
Okay.
I love the distinction and very colorful.
Mm. Marv, what would be your soul's shape?
Waffle cone for sure.
Oh,
It's the great mixture of texture, 2D, 3D, and, like, circle. Lovely. Perfect shape.
it is the perfect shape. Love that.
And you could put
Mm.
ice cream on top. That was all I could think about. It's like, well, it's got ice cream potentiality.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
full of potential, so true.
The first thing that came to mind, so I guess I'll go with first thought, best thought, was a diamond. My diamond, for any Steven Universe fans. But it just mostly because probably because the Steven Universe shaped my soul for a long time, made me
Mhm. Mm.
who I am. So I love the diamond shape, and I always draw little stars like sparkles like diamonds.
Mhm.
So I feel like that sparkle emoji, even though it's been reclaimed by the AI brand, which is so gross, but I like that shape
True. So true.
before it got claimed. But I
Take
do
it
like
back,
that little diamond shape.
Melissa.
I'm trying. It's so cute. But yeah, I like that shape. I think I try to sparkle, add a little cute to everything in my boring emails. I have to fight back every day. I always try to put a little sparkle emoji at the end. I'm like, professionalism. But I want people to know I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
Sparkle.
Yeah. Sparkle on. I also want to put more emojis in my emails so people don't know that like, I worry that people think that I hate them because I'm like, "What's your insurance?"
I
I'm
would
saying it in a positive way.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
saying it like this, with a little heart hands emoji.
Yeah.
Nice.
"Can you get back to me?"
Lots of hearts. Hearts and sparkles.
Yeah.
And waffle cones and blobs.
And waffle
Yes.
cones and ice cream.
I'd like to move on to the next part of our show where we learn more about you, Garden. We received such a lovely letter from Jean, and I'd like to read it to you if you don't mind.
Yes.
Okay. Because I think this is a good way to start and then learn a little bit about you. But they wrote that your story also centers around the power of community and collaboration in art, specifically through projects that uplift young voices in a meaningful way. You are working on a children's book that focuses on a bilingual sea lion narrative featuring illustrations from 28 students at an elementary school. And you've been working in, sorry, I'm trying not to add too many specifics. If you're interested in sharing how artists are creating spaces where everyone is seen, heard, and valued, from murals and exhibitions to empowering the next generation through books, I think Garden's journey would add another layer to the thoughtful conversations we have each week. I try to strive, and then I got this from your website. You said that you try to strive to combine influences from Long Beach that reflect the unique blend of cultures and styles that make up Long Beach. So I thought Jean's email reflected your own quote so well. I want to learn more about how you got started on your journey. Did you always know you wanted to be an artist? Where did you begin before diving deeper into your community work?
Thank you for reading out that email from Jan that I had no idea she wrote such a beautiful letter or email. And so if she's listening, thank you, Jan. Like that's a really beautiful way to invite me into the space. And thank you, both of you, for allowing me to talk about my art right now. I started doing art from a pretty early age, and a memory of mine that I remember pretty distinctively is being in third grade, and my third grade teacher at the time asked all of the students to draw any page they wanted from the National Geographic magazines. And I thought that was such a fun activity, and my brain got really excited. And I remember it being like the first time that I felt really proud of
Mm.
myself. And I drew this owl, and I love what I made. I think I've always kept that energy throughout the rest of my work. Yeah, I think being open to the possibilities. If my teacher never asked me to draw just by looking at a picture and giving us all the free range to do it, I don't know how long it would have taken me to get to that point again.
Mm.
So, yeah, the energy of starting where you don't know the result, right? I think that's something that I try to keep within myself all the time because sometimes I just want to pick up the paintbrush and draw, and I try not to think about the result sometimes. It's about
Yeah.
doodling and having fun. But I hope that answers your question.
Definitely. That's so cute. I like the idea of just it reminds me of your answer of living Grover, like, you're just willing to try, and that's where you have the fun. I
Yeah.
think that's very cute. A great artist.
Oh,
Um, so did you go to school for art, or have you been self-trained?
I did not go to school for art. Yes, I am self-trained. I went to school to get a pre-nursing degree. Actually,
Mm.
I went to school and started off with a to get into pre-nursing, and I ended up dropping out of that degree and getting into human development, which I feel like I use today. Most people don't know what that degree is. Like, what is human development? And it is a multidisciplinary degree, which is the artist that I am.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny, but yeah, it's a mix of psychology, sociology, anthropology, all the ologies.
Nice.
A lot of the ologies, a lot of the humanities, and I did take some poetry classes, some theater classes. I even took some dance classes. So there was definitely the arts, definitely impacted my my learning. I took creative writing. It was a really imagine taking your GEs on steroids. That was human development. It was taking your
Yeah.
GEs on steroids, and I ended up learning to appreciate the impact that GEs can have on somebody because it teaches you to be like a well-rounded person. And
Mhm.
so after I got my degree, I kind of learned about myself. I really got to see what was going on in my bubble in the world of Long Beach, from systematic injustices to how the mind works and how society and communities come together and and how to sort misinformation from real truth and where do you source information. So I have a real love for being curious, and I have a real love for learning and the library, and I'm very thirsty for the art of learning. So I'm a
Yeah.
constant student, and I graduated with that degree, and I took some time for myself, kind of working these odd jobs and making art. One day I saw a open call for the public, and it asked artists to send their interest to this huge project. It was this really, really big sidewalk project where I would have to draw on the sidewalk with a design that I pitched to the Arts Council of Long Beach, and they were the one funding the project as well as Bloomberg Philanthropies. I applied to the opportunity out of sheer fear and curiosity. I was scared, but I was also like, "Is this possible? Could I be picked?" They want Long Beach natives. I am one of those people. I grew up here, born and raised, never lived outside of Long Beach. I visited different places, but I've lived here all my life. So I did it. I applied and I was selected, and it wasn't an easy process. There was also a component after being selected. You had to be picked by the community as well.
Oh,
So I had to I had to get voted in. I had to with making the design, I had to find a design that I felt exemplified and represented that part of the community. I lived in that part of the community for some time with my mom, and so I knew the community, I knew the middle school that I was going to be painting or possibly painting, and when making my design, I really thought about the sports that were really popular and prominent in that community, and it was soccer. So I made a mural design that included a soccer ball and two girls playing. And what was funny about the design was I I made two girls, and by the end of by the end of it, and I was looking at the design, I saw both of my nieces in the design, and I was like, "Wow, I'm really creating from, like I'm sourcing from my community, but I'm also sourcing from my family." And
yeah,
I did it kind of unconsciously, and now I'm, like, very proud that they are my nieces, and, um, I do a lot with them, and I spend as much time as I can with family. Yeah, that was a really, really important step to the beginning of Fuzz Garden, to the beginning of what I would, create and who I am today. And being selected to work on that project, not only did I get to represent, uh, that community, I also got to make work that centered pedestrian safety. And the point of that mural was to make sure that cars would pay attention to the street and stop where the stop sign was. There's a school right there, and it was really important to make this intersection really visible. And I think it did a really good job incorporating art into that message. I was selected, and three other artists were selected: Rebecca, Drea, and Michelle. And we all had our own sections of the crosswalk, and it was really big. It was a huge project for all of us, but I think every one of us tried to do a really good job at making sure that we were all good and we spent time with each other. Rebecca did come over to my section and help me, and there were definitely moments where we all encouraged each other and helped out one another. And yeah, I'm very grateful for the community there, and I'm grateful for the artists who who all of us worked together. And it's a really beautiful project, and we did it in 2 days. So,
2 days?
yeah, it was intense. Our bodies were breaking by the end of the day, and we imagine painting on the ground. You're literally bending down and you're in, like, these weird poses for long amount of time. So, yeah, I definitely needed to get my back adjusted after that.
And I know that asphalt was hot, like
Yeah. I wanna give a shout out to Made by Drigo. That's his Instagram name, Made by Drigo. He was working on a mural just like mine in, like, a whole different area, and I stumbled upon his Instagram page, and I asked him, I DM'd him, I was like, "Hey, I'm going to be working on this project. Do you have any advice for me?" And he told me to use tape, as a way to mock up my design on the ground. He gave me
Mm.
advice as to just taking off your shoes so that you don't get, like, paint everywhere and that you're being, like, really intentional about, like, where you're stepping because you could step into paint and then walk around and mess up where you were at. So, I thought that was really good advice. He gave me a lot of good advice, so shout out to him, and, yeah, it was a grueling process, but Arts Council did such an amazing job inspiring all of us, and I they told us numerous times like, "Hey, we would love this project to last longer, but this is a busy street. This is an app
Right.
that people are using. We cannot hold up traffic for
Mm.
3 or 4 days." So, we made it work and we finished it, and that was my first project, and it was the start of everything and what is, accumulated now. So I'm forever grateful to the Arts Council of Long Beach and Bloomberg and, you know, the love and support of all the others that were a part of that, including the artists
Yeah.
on site with us. Yeah.
How long ago did the mural go up? Is it still visible?
Yeah, it is visible. You can see it, and the paint that we used, I can't remember the name of the brand, but it was made specifically to be on the ground, so it's able to withstand all of the cars driving by and people walking through,
That's awesome.
and it will be up for 10 years. So that's quite a bit of time,
Wow.
Yeah,
and that happened about 2 years ago, I would say.
that's awesome.
As a social worker, I love when the social works. Like, the community elements of it, the family elements of it. Ah, music to my soul. Feeling
Right.
so alive right now. How did
It's
it feel to you to, like, have that confirmation about your art from the public?
it was it was amazing. It's like I said, I grew up in that neighborhood, and I never thought that a project like that could exist in that neighborhood,
Mhm.
and it did. Years later, my future self is now sitting, painting just like I always wanted, just like had always dreamed of, and to get inspired by that community, make sure it was being represented meant the most to me because I'll tell you a story about what happened to me living in that area. Number 1, traffic there and people getting hit by cars is very, very common,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I would be worried some nights because my mom would be out and I was afraid something would happen if she would, like, cross the street. We would always cross this, a busy street near the mural site. And so the concern was that pedestrians, you know yes, exactly, the ambulance for sure, like,
Yep.
we could hear that. No, but that's, like, it came at the perfect
Yeah.
time, for real, like, it's something that, like, scared me and, like, I was afraid for the people in our community, our neighbors. So, yeah, that project meant a lot to me. We were showing and giving visibility to a really big issue in that area. And the story goes, I was going to work at the time and I was getting in my car and somebody from the middle school had kicked the ball over the fence, and it is a high fence, y'all. It was a really high fence. And I grabbed the ball and they were like, "Throw it back to us." And I was like really nervous because it was a really high fence. And I was like, I don't want to be cringe and mess this up. And
Yeah.
with all my hope and all my might, I threw it and it went through, and they got the ball, and they all
Nice.
screamed for me, and I was like, "Y'all are giving me life right now. I can work another day." Like, so
Yes.
yeah, just hearing the kids laughing, in that neighborhood, it was really tough to kind of survive in this part of the city,
Mhm,
and, again, years later, being able to work in those very streets meant so much to me, and doing it for the kids, really just added that cherry on top.
It's beautiful. It's nice to see an artist getting to make art for their community in, like, a very physical way. Because 'cause we've had a
Yeah.
lot of artists, and we all have big dreams, especially because 'cause we've talked to a lot of people in the animation industry, and it's like, we have to wait years, usually, for it to come out, and
Yeah.
usually we don't get to see the immediate reaction, you know? Like, when I worked on the Barbie stuff, it's, like, in the void, and I'm like, "I like to think little kids
Mhm.
enjoyed it," so it's really nice to hear your stories about your art impacts your community and you getting to see the immediate reactions. It's really beautiful, and it reminds me that there's so many ways to make art, and
mhm.
every scale matters.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you were talking about Steven Universe and how much it impacted you and who you are as a person, and with animation, all it takes is one kid looking at something and really appreciating it for all the artful ways that it speaks messages or even looks like them. It it's all very impactful.
Mhm.
Definitely. I'd love to talk about your new project, your children's book that's coming out. What was the process into starting that book and working with the kids to get the art in the book?
Yeah, it was quite a process. I'm very, very grateful for all the players that contributed to making this project happen. And it's a really long story, so let's get into it. Should we
Yes.
drink some water?
Let's all drink some water.
Okay, let's take a sip.
I finished my ginger beer.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Down the hatch.
Down the hatch. Lovely. Okay, so it all began at the Marine Mammal Care Center. I got the opportunity. Wait, let me go back. So, number one, I am a studio artist of Angels Gate Cultural Center, and it is a cultural center in San Pedro where there are hundreds of artists. It's like a commune, and everyone has a studio, and there's workshops, there's all kinds of gallery exhibitions happening constantly. It's a beautiful, beautiful space. And I had an opportunity to work with the Marine Mammal Care Center as a educator. And Angel Gate does this collaboration every Saturday. Or you guys have to look into that. I believe it's like every like maybe once a month or so. But I got the opportunity to create a workshop for the Marine Mammal Care Center, and they're a sea lion care center in San Pedro. And I was like, perfect, let me do a clay workshop with the kids, and we can talk about ocean pollution, and we can make and model and use paper and have a really whimsical, fun time thinking about the ocean and also making art. So I'm doing this workshop, and suddenly there's this grant that everyone's talking about. And the grant is from Arts United San Pedro, and they're asking artists to pitch their idea. If your idea gets selected, it gets funded. So at the time, I'm not sure what idea I have for this specific grant. And I'm working, teaching this workshop. I'm getting really inspired by being around the kids. And it takes me back. It takes me back to my middle school self, my elementary kid self, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting with the grant in front of my face now. I finished the workshop and now I'm doing all the admin work that artists do. We kind of have to suck it up and do admin work instead of painting as much as we want. We have to do this kind of, task. So, looking at the grant and being inspired by the kids, I come up with the idea of creating a children's book. And when I was really young, I always wanted to make a children's book created by children, created by the youth, because that's something that I wanted to see. I never felt like I looked at children's book and I loved them. I had so many favorites, but they were all created by adults.
Mm.
So I thought about myself at that age and I was like, wow, I have this opportunity to pitch this idea. And so I pitch it and I want to highlight the Marine Mammal Care Center because they were a big reason as to why I even had this idea in the first place as well. And they obviously were so nice to me, and I love the fact that I got to see these sea lions and hear them barking, and it was just so beautiful. I pitched this idea that I would highlight the Marine Mammal Care Center and create a children's book about it. And long story kinda short, um, they connected me with Point Furman Elementary School, and they were like the Marine Mammal Care Center was like, "You should also connect with them as well and see what ways the students there can participate." And I said, "Okay, great. I would love to do these clay workshops with them where we create sea lions, like whimsical sea creatures to add into the book." And they loved the idea when I walked into the school. And so I was able to craft this pitch through the connection of the school, through the connection of the Sea Lion Care Center. I was encouraged by Gloria Sanchez, which is an amazing artist and is also a staff member from Angels Gate Culture Center. And she was very encouraging to me, which I felt like I also really needed to hear. So
Mhm.
she gave me that support and love, and so did my partner. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply and I'm gonna send my application. And I sent it a minute before the deadline.
Whoa.
That's what
Yes,
it's like.
you know what it's like. And I did that for the other uh opportunity as well, the mural on the sidewalk. Yeah, a minute before the deadline I applied.
Nothing
Forgot
like
to
a
tell.
little last minute submission.
Right? That's kind of just like my brain. So if you're an artist and you're listening to this, submit. Even if it's a minute, like just submit and do it. But yeah, so yeah, I got to do the workshops with the kids. It was so fun. They were able to create so many wonky, fun characters. And then I started getting to work. I took photos of each of their artwork and then I included their beautiful creations into the book. So when you go through the pages, you see their clay work, and I incorporated the storyline into the clay work as well. So it matches the art and the text. There's coloring pages in the book. So all of the students that participated with me, they got a free copy and they get to color in their book, which I encouraged. I was like, you were always told not to write in books. You write in this book, and you better keep this book too because this is really special. And
Yeah.
years from now, you're going to really, really appreciate this project. And yeah, I was just so inspired by it all, and I'm really grateful. I'm sitting in it still. I'm still like stewing in all of that, and I really appreciate all the staff. I appreciate being here talking about this book, and PH Collective really
Mhm.
the they are the people who are, like, putting me on podcasts like this to talk about it, so, you know, I just I feel very valued, and I feel like, uh, the fact that I got to represent these kids and show love to San Pedro is really, really beautiful and important to me, and San Pedro has been like a safe haven for me growing up. I used to go there and, you know, actually sit next to an ocean that wasn't as dirty, you know, like, I love Long Beach, but our ocean is not clean, unfortunately,
Mm, yeah.
and San Pedro is like a oasis for people from Long Beach to hang out at.
That's an amazing story.
Thank you. I feel like there's so many gaps in the story, like, as well. I'm like, "Oh, there's so many other things that happen," but, like, I mean, truly, it's it's beyond words, really. I feel really good about it, and you can check out the book at the San Pedro Public Library. It's there at the circulation desk, and, yeah, I'm working on the ebook right now. I want this book to be publicly available, and I would like it to be a free resource, and that's what that's what it is.
It's awesome.
Nice.
Thank
Sounds like a
you.
great gift to give friends who are having kids, or if you have your own kid, give them this little book.
Yeah,
Learn
and
about
it's an excuse to go visit San Pedro's library. It's a beautiful library with an amazing curation of books. Amy is the children's book librarian there at the library, and she does an amazing, amazing job curating beautiful stories that illustrate the community and is very, very inclusive.
nice. Yeah. You said early on in the show that you love libraries, and this is a reflection of that. What's your favorite part about going to the library?
Hmm.
Man. Ooh, I love that question. I love all the different faces that go into the library from different, like, ages and, like, when I growing up, like, sometimes I would see a senior having trouble with, like, a computer, and I got to be helpful and assist in those ways when I was there, and so being at the library allows you to interact with all kinds of people, and I love that part. Um, I love, you know, being able to do homework and study there
Mm,
and a wealth of knowledge. Talk to any librarian and they'll give you their favorite books. They'll give you their favorite recommendations and you can get to know your librarian. They work there all the time. So why not get to know them personally and, you know, get their eye, get their ear and really understand their brain because librarians are extremely, extremely like, valuable, a wealth of knowledge. I think they're wizards, to be honest, like,
Truly, yeah,
right? Like, you're just entering an enchanted forest, and that's what a library is.
I agree.
Yeah.
yeah. I love
We love
going to a
libraries.
library and asking librarians about all the programs that they have. Like, tell me about the programs, the events. Like,
Yes,
let's trade recipes for how to make something that
yes.
people love. And they're, like, so keyed into the community. They're just like, "Yeah, I would try that, but also not that, but, like, also, I was thinking, and then also, did you know?" And I'm like, "You can check out a cookbook and a cooking set from the Albuquerque Public Library? Tell me more."
Yes, yes, you described it so well because they will they will give you the tea.
Yeah.
That's one of the most Marv coded things ever. For context, Marv specializes in programming, so the thought of Marv going to a librarian and being like, "Tell me about your programming," it's just very, like it's like
Oh,
their love language, like, sharing.
It's
It's
yeah.
true. It's true.
I love that. that could be a love language. Like, if someone asks you, like, what your love language is, you can say, "Sharing at the library." It's about
Mhm.
librarian love, it's about programming love,
Yeah.
and
My love language,
uh
programming, but not that kind.
yeah, but
In
not the coding.
parentheses. Yeah.
Not on the computer.
Not on a computer.
It's activities, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Garden, my last question for you is, do you have any advice for other artists who wanna be making, like you, multidisciplinary stuff or wanna be helping out the community?
Yeah. I think if you're an artist and you have a hard time posting online, I think that comes from for me personally, I think when I was starting out and I was just creating from my bedroom, I had a really hard time putting it out into the world, whether it was online or even showing people. And I think the missing component for me was going out there and serving my community. And
Mm.
I've done that all my life. Like growing up, I volunteered at hospitals. As someone who thought I was who thought about going into the nursing field, like I became a CNA in high school. So I very much my influences come from any way that I can to be of service. And I think innately, a lot of us artists are the same way.
Mhm.
So I encourage artists that who aren't serving the community to go out there and volunteer your time somewhere that you feel connected to, whether that's a health clinic or a library, some way that you can offer yourself in the arts, right? So if you want to create a workshop and show elders how to create prints, go out there and do that. And do that for the love. Start there. And I think the snowball effect will happen. And I think you will be able to post your art. I think you will be able to show your art more and you will feel nourished. Your spirit will feel it will thank you, right? And I think a lot of us are very social folks, and it comes in different forms, right?
Mhm.
It can come in different ways and in different energy fields, if that makes any sense to you, but I I encourage artists to do that and to be patient and to read up on grassroots movements and to read up on what's happening in your city. In Long Beach, there are so many like mutual aid centers. In LA, there are so many mutual aid centers. There's so many ways that you can support the community. Just go out there and learn and find out and be curious and talk to other artists. And if you're shy, that's okay too. There's so many other shy artists. Get together with them and do a drawing art club for shy kids. There's ways to include your personality and being true to yourself by hosting. And
Mhm.
that seems scary, but I think that's how we start is by hosting, and more of that will be a great revolution.
I wanna say I'm gonna say snaps to that. I wanted to say amen, but I was like, "That's too religious," but snaps to that, like as we do it in college.
Yeah, snaps
Cosign.
that. Aligned.
That's too corporate.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'll
I
take that
love
back.
I'll take it though.
I think that's beautiful. Thank you for that amazing advice. I think
Course.
that's I think it's always needed, but, the times being what they are, it's really helpful to
Mhm.
hear.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we all need each other right now.
Mhm.
yeah.
Community is everything.
Mhm.
And, I'm sure you understand this where I'm coming from, Garden. Like, I studied like social philosophy, so it's just like the art, the storytelling, the sharing, the vulnerable part of, like, bearing forth this thing that you don't know how to say, but is, like, so intrinsic to how you feel,
Mhm.
is, like, what makes humanity so fucking cool, and, like, it'll feed you for generations, and, that's, like, the start of legacy, and it's also, like, how to be present, like, how do you do all of that? Through art, through community. Ooh.
You described it well, yeah. It and but honestly, that in itself is poetry,
Mm,
and the more that we talk about it, someone can pick that up and actually do something with it, and the art of storytelling is really the art of you talking about anything that you're passionate about, and that could be through animation, that could be through painting, that could be through stop motion. There's so many ways to express, and I think the more that we watch cartoons, the more in tune that we can be.
yeah.
Just watch more cartoons, I think is the answer, and my favorites are Craig of the Creek. Oh, yeah. Love, love,
Oh
love.
my gosh.
The amount of
Clarence,
times we have talked about Craig of the Creek on this podcast.
it's the
Tears
best.
in my
I
eyes, a
cry.
person after my own heart.
I cry. I cry every time, like, every episode just, like, pulls at my heartstrings,
Love
and,
Craig.
yeah, Clarence, I feel the same way about too. I love Clarence. I think he's such a sweet, wholesome boy who has the best intentions, and he's just so clumsy and doesn't realize how yeah, I love him. Adventure Time. Home Videos, did you guys ever watch Home Videos?
No. Is it where was that on?
Comedy Central.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was, like, early 2000, maybe, like, late 90s, but that one was a really formative show for me, and the main character is a really sweet kid too. He's, like, really
Mhm.
funny and just, like, all around sweet. Clarence actually did a tribute to Home Videos in, I
Oh,
believe, like, their last episode, yeah, so,
That's really cool.
yeah, could I could see, I could see the similarities, so to get that validation that they, were really influenced by Home Videos was beautiful. But, yeah, watch more cartoons. I think that's definitely the answer to a lot of our problems. If you're
mm.
feeling sad, if you're feeling mad at the world, watch more watch more cartoons.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think you would really enjoy Win or Lose if you haven't seen it.
I'll check it out. Win or lose.
Yes, it's not enough episodes, but what you get, you will enjoy.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm writing it down right now so I don't forget.
Yeah. And if once you finish watching it, we have 2 podcast episodes with people that have worked on it. One with Patrick Lynn, who's the layout, coordinator? Director?
Director?
Director. And then one with the, animation director, and just, like,
So cool.
And it all starts to make sense because they're such wonderful people, and you understand the crew really puts their heart into the show, and just those 2 people out of such a big crew,
Wow.
it's amazing. They're so nice.
Well, that's good to know that there's, like, really genuinely loving people, that are, like, a part of these shows, so I'm so excited. Thank you for the recommendation.
Of course. Watch more cartoons. I love
Watch more
Wonderlist.
cartoons.
Thank you, Garden, for spending your evening with us.
I'm
thank you
honored
for
to be here.
sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what other art you put out into the world.
There will be more, and there will be more adventures of my children's book. I'm considering creating a series.
Yeah, I love that.
Love. Yeah.
Yay! To support me, I would definitely go and check out Arts United San Pedro. They hold amazing, amazing events. I'll definitely be in one or two or lots of them. So you'll definitely find me at Arts United San Pedro doing, one of their workshops. There's always all kinds of cool events happening there. So definitely check them out. And you can check out their website at artsunitedsp.org. Also, I had just talked about Angels Gate Culture Center. You
Mhm.
can look them up online. And again, they are an amazing nonprofit and they do all kinds of cool exhibitions, workshops. So definitely look into that. And I have a website, fuzzgardenmurals.com. Come check out my work. And you can see me on Instagram as well at fuzz.garden. Thank you so much for having me, guys. This has been a
Yeah.
wonderful podcast. So honored.
We're so honored. It's been a delight.
Yay.
Yay! That was our conversation with Garden.
Delightful, wonderful. That
Doing a lot
feeling
with your hands and
where
face.
I'm sorry, I'm feeling a lot with my hands and my face right now. Um, when somebody just gets it,
Yeah,
like, yeah, you're right. That's the whole point.
that's why we do the things, we make the art.
Mhm.
Would you say this was a good episode for your birthday?
This was a great episode for my birthday.
So
Um, reminded me that I love people who write grants, and I love people who, put in the effort to do that, and I'm so glad I'm not in nonprofits anymore, so I don't have to do that.
fair enough. Yeah, grants are hard.
Mhm.
I've never had one, but they just seem like a lot of work, which is
Yeah,
fair. So good for
it's not
Garden.
fair.
It's submitting it, putting in that work to
Yeah.
create beautiful things for their community.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now I've just gotta lie down and sit in this beautiful moment after this.
Yeah. I
And you
kinda
get to
don't
eat
wanna
your warm
watch
rice.
I gotta eat my warm rice, and I think I'm not gonna watch Love Is Blind.
Yeah, it's not really the
It's
vibe
not
after this.
it's not really the vibe after this.
Definitely not.
When the socials don't work.
It's literally what happens when the socials don't work. They've set them up to fail. So
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what you're gonna watch, but good luck. Like I can't go and watch Scrubs after this. Not not
antithetical.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could just go watch Win or Lose again. I don't know. So good.
Should we watch Win or Lose again?
Yeah, we should definitely watch Win or Lose again. It's so pretty. Mm. Anyway, let's say bye to our listeners. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you so much again to Garden for being kind. Please remember to leave a comment, leave a review on Appy Podcasts. Say happy birthday, Marv, in the comments
Happy birthday.
to the little pride baby. That'd be great. Thank you. And tell your friends, enemies, lovers, and parents and family to listen.
Tell your 2
Or
nieces that you accidentally drew on the sidewalk.
to listen. Um, this podcast is edited by Mar. Our cover art is by Les. And remember,
There's
not
one
right
way.
to submit your applications 1 minute before they're due.
There's not one right way to be inspired as a 3rd grader by an owl in Natural Geographics. National
And
Geographic?
sounds right to me.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't.
And there's not one right way to create a children's book made by children, for children.
Yeah.
Don't forget to make art, connect with others, so that you can feel nourished.
Yes. Yes!
Thank you so much for listening.
Bye!
Bye.